So firstly, just to introduce my business is Cleddau Media, and we're going under the strapline, connecting people to the wider world. So a bit about me then, I'm Yes into that. I come from a bit of a creative background, so I did a creative media extended diploma in college, which is what got me into film. That's when I discovered my passion for it. I've had an interesting last 12 months switching from adventure film into normal filmmaking, just as that sort of lined up on where my career outside of university was going. And I reckon to sell myself I would be a passionate videographer and photographer, and I've also got the option of doing drone stuff because I've got my operator's ID and flyer's license. The business itself is Cleddau Media. This would be a multimedia company with the focus on supporting businesses and charities to develop short films and photography to either document events or advertise their business. My unique selling point for me would be providing the whole service, from the person coming to you with that idea right to how they're going to deliver it, whether they're going to deliver it as shorts, whether they're going to deliver it online, or whether it's going to be an event and they want a big singing, dancing promo for their business. The brand means quite a lot to myself, as the Cleddau River, I've grown up right next to it. A lot of my early photography and videography was based on the river. And then there's an interesting side to the element of Cleddau, whereas the Cleddau is a tidal river, so it's a two-way system, and it's a lot what I want to bring is that two-way connection with clients, and that's where that comes from. The tagline, connecting people to the wider world, that to me there's a lot of meaning in connecting West Wales, which is where we're primarily based, to the wider UK and Wales, but also connecting those businesses back into West Wales, because it gets lost on the end of the M4 like. The brand's quite clear. I've got my colours and stuff, as well as my text and stuff that I'm using throughout my brand, on social media, in my logo, in my jackets and stuff, as well as my website. So experience from past clients, so I've been quite lucky that I've worked with a company in Pembrokeshire, Mamke's Welsh Cakes. They've gone bust now because of COVID and cost of living, but as well as Scouts, one of my local football teams. I've done a bit of work with them and running their social medias and stuff. Exiles was a band in my college that we produced a music video with. Assistant directing on that, we come second place in Skills Wales. I've worked with Command Bay Film Festival, filming their announcement videos for who's been nominated for the awards, and as well as the award ones when it was all online. I'm probably my big client at the moment is Folly Farm. Got lucky with that one, did a bit of inside work with them, and now I've got like a sort of contract with them doing a lot of their film and media stuff. And my next big project coming up is with On The Rocks in Pembrokeshire, which is a small premium cocktail business who want to bring their About Us page on their website into video form, so people can sit there and watch it rather than reading it. And then I also was first assistant director on Spirit Shifters, but we'll leave that one there. There's a few nightmares with that one. Marketing then. So in my first year, my big marketing push is going to be obviously across my social media platforms, using shorts and hashtags on Instagram. But as well as using Facebook to try and connect with the slightly older audience. I'm very aiming my content at the demographics. Just last night really, I sort of started setting up my website and got the rights to the domain and everything like that. If anyone's not done it, it's a nightmare. Their providers and stuff like that. But I'll also look at networking events, go into things like Carmarthen Bay Film Festival and just be in there and networking with other people. But also advertising in businesses. So I've got quite a good working relationship with the guys in Tees R Us down in Pembrokeshire, who did all my jackets and stuff like that for me. And having a conversation with them, they were saying that they get quite a lot of footfall in there with people who have got their t-shirts and done their printed material for marketing, but then don't know where to go next. So I've had good conversations with him about advertising in the shop and business cards and stuff like that to try and pick up that loose end. So going off of marketing, I've got just a quick show reel. I'm selling the show reel as Cleddau Media in under 1 minute. So here we go. So the goals for the business, it's a business that I've got a lot of passion behind. So my current goals at the moment is sort of having my clear business plan and know how we're going to get to the launch of the business where I'm really going to be running with it more mainstream to what I am now. Going into short-term goals as running the business part-time and securing startup grants and starting to build the business is sort of that short-term goal. In the mid-term, I'm looking to have some set contracts with different companies across West Wales and possibly even in other parts of the UK, covering their sort of mainstream media work and stuff like that. And sort of breaking even in my first full trading year purely as Cleddau Media, kind of without sort of part-time jobs as well. And in the long term, I've got this idea of a bit of a Cleddau Media hub in West Wales, kind of similar to Reese's idea. So that's sort of just as an idea as it stands. And then sort of having continuous work all year round and really being in a position where the company's my lifestyle. My service rates in year one, I'm looking at offering bronze, silver and gold packages. They basically range on how much content the client will get, as well as how long the shoot days are going to be. But I'm also offering a 10% discount if they take both services. So bronze has bronze photography as well as bronze film, but if you take bronze multimedia, you get a 10% discount, but it's slightly more expensive. And it covers all sorts of things. Like I dabble in weddings on the shorter film, but sort of documentary and advertising is my main sort of thing, with a bit of event coverage and even short film work. As a quick financial overview, in the first year I'll be running it part-time alongside other work, as well as, So the business was run in that year off of sort of grants. Business Wales is under 25 grant, all being well at about £2,000. Sort of personal investments are saving up over the next sort of summer while working to plough a bit of money in, and then looking at sort of sales and contracted work. Service sales about £3,000. That works out about, what was it, 15 one media bronze packages in a year. So I think that's quite achievable in a year. So contracted work then, that'll be going on to sets as going on as a runner or a camera up or stuff like that, just to tie me over. Money out in terms of that then, I've looked at things like obviously Photoshop, works out about £120 a year on the photography only package, because I do a lot of my film editing on Final Cut, so I bought that outright about 2 years ago. As well as things like drone operator ID, which is £10 a year, which isn't that bad. Transport and insurance are big costs. Public liability insurance covering all kit and everything like that, £352 for the year. And then that also includes like my survival budget, bit of new kit, my website, and that should hopefully, if all goes to plan in that first year, make a profit of £1,800. So my competitors then, we've got Behind the Lens Media, so they're based in Pembrokeshire. They've got a lot of big clients at the moment, but he's been in the industry for quite a few years. He's coming towards that retirement age, which is quite a common theme with sort of the media in Pembrokeshire. Pembrokeshire Video Productions, they're the same, they've been trading since 1986. So there's a sort of a market there in West Wales for younger upcoming. And then there's also Low Film and Photo. So he originated in Tenby, he's still got a lot of clients down Tenby, but I know he is moving his business slowly towards more the Cardiff area. It's where the money is really, isn't it? So my SWOT analysis of my business, I feel like there's a gap in that local market. As I said, there's no one really young up and coming in West Wales. I've already worked with a few local businesses, and I've got a range of my own kit already that I'm building up to go into the business. Obviously weaknesses then, I haven't got social media numbers that I'd want, but I'm building on that. It's a new business in the industry, certainly in West Wales doing film and media, it's not really the done thing. Limited clients at present, lack of testimonials, so lack of that review, that sort of personal input from the businesses. And then the threats are kind of much like we've heard already, the finance setting up, the no jobs and work security, other businesses doing slightly similar things. And then opportunities is building clients like Folly Farm in a position to launch the business ASAP and potentially even go international in the future. So I've been Yestin, that's Cleddau Media in a nutshell. Any questions?
Nice presentation, and you spoke Nice and clearly as well. Nice, sort of expressive and clear. Are you open to general work? Are you going to let it pull you in whatever direction it pulls you?
Yeah, so I think I'm quite open to any sort of work in that short film sort of industry, whether it's documentary, advertising. I think documentary advertising is what I want to be doing. But if someone comes along and says, "Can you come and film our wedding?" I'm not going to turn it down because it's.
That's what I did. You know, I wanted money. I set up, and I just got pulled in all sorts of directions. And I don't know. It's just two ways of looking at it, I suppose. I mean, it makes you more rounded. Photographer, cameraman. Or others might argue, you know, it's a bit like jack of all tradesy, but I don't see anything wrong with it personally, because it'll shape you over time, and then within sort of 5-10 years, you'll have clear paths.
Get your niche then, don't you?
Yeah, and plus the fact you never know what you know. If you haven't tried something, you don't know if you like it. So there's that as well. There's that aspect. So I'm not opposed to that at all. Like people that are niche and they're not going to let anything pull them in any other directions. That's cool as well, because that's very focused and very targeted. But so yeah, I mean, you know, whichever way you go is good, I think. Yeah, I like the profile picture. I thought that was cool. Very nice, very relaxed.
It's actually one of Scott's.
Yeah?
It's one of Scott's photos.
Oh, is it? Excellent, good team. Very nice networking, excellent. It was a strong message. You're very thorough. I like the fact that your USP is flexibility. You can go into any line of work and go as big or small as the client wants as well. You know, I think that's a good thing, because I suppose you could put a lot of people off if you've got this big polished, you know, set meal that's expensive. People like to have a little try of something, you know, and then go from there. So, yeah, nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit different. It's a bit more general than everybody else, but you know, I'm still going, and I've been quite general at times during my work. So
Yeah, I think it's a good way to launch and then.
Well, it pulls you around. If you're open to anything, you will end up in all sorts of crazy shoots, doing all sorts of mad. You know, I've done all sorts. And you learn a lot from it, and some of it you come away hating, and some of it you come away going, "Oh, I wouldn't mind doing that again." So yeah, great.